What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for clicking on this video. I have been having a lot of problems with this camera, so today's video is not on this look. As you can tell by the title, it's about my highlight and contour routine and how to do your highlight and contour. So I kind of deleted a lot of footage for this look and the intro for the highlight and contour video. So I guess I'm gonna let the highlight and contour video start in 3, 2, 1. So I have a few different products that I like to use for highlighting contouring. I don't use every single one because it's just kind of ridiculous, but depending on my mood or what I feel like doing a day, I reach for, you know, certain items. This is what I have for contouring. There we go. All that. It's not a lot. If you're not new to this channel, you know that my tried and true, my first love as far as powder contouring is the NYX Cosmetics Pro Contour Palette. This palette works so well for me. I absolutely love it. But the shade that I really like to go for is this middle shade right here. Oh, God, I hit pan so hard. So this palette retails for $24 at NYX. So it's pretty inexpensive for a pretty large palette. Because this one is practically done, I went and I got the Makeup Revolution Iconic Lights and Contour Pro palette. It's basically the same thing. This has practically the same shades and it blends out really nice. And I think this was like around 18, don't quote me, I don't know, but this was way less than the NYX palette. So this one I reach out now as far as powder goes. I definitely reach for this one. I also have one more palette that I recently bought and I'm so in love with the contour shades in this palette. This is the It's My Ray Ray collab with BH Cosmetics, and this is like my go-to. Just want to do something quick and easy to do. This is what I reach for. She has like nice colors that you can play around with and do like an everyday look with. And then you have your contour shades. Now her contour shades, I've noticed that lean more towards the warmer side. I mean, I understand why, because she is obviously someone of a darker shade, so I guess she wanted to cater more to those with a darker shade, but at the same time, it's light enough for me to use, you know, and I know I'm someone with a warm shade, so I can get away with it. This is also a palette that was inexpensive. I got it at Ulta. And then another product that I feel like is so underrated, no one talks about it, but it's such a staple in my kit. This is the NYX Conceal and Contour Correct and Contour little palette, and this is the medium one. I have all three shades. I have the light, medium, and dark. This is a cream contour, and I'm going to show you how to use cream contours versus how to use the powders and how to layer them. And then last but not least, one of the Fenty Beauty matchsticks. This one's in the shade Amber, and this is more on the gray side. So you see, like, it's kind of like gray. So I definitely like to do this when I don't want to do too much contouring, when I want to look natural. I'm going to try to contour as heavily as possible so that you guys can definitely see it you know, on the camera, so the camera will pick it up, and also so that you guys can see the placement and everything. Let's get started. Okay, so for today's look, I want to use MAC Strobe Cream. I'm going to go ahead and use this as like my primer, moisturizer primer. I feel like this is making my makeup last really long. Like I wore this yesterday and I had a lot of makeup on, and then I went to the gym and it actually didn't rub off, you know, in certain places. You know, it did rub off like around my forehead and my chin and stuff where I sweat the most, but my makeup for the most part stayed put. Okay, so now that my face is primed, I'm gonna go ahead and put on my foundation. Because I'm going for more of a dewy look, I am going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Smooth and Dewy in medium buff. Oh, this is medium buff. I've been calling it buff beige this whole time. Just gonna put some of this on real quick because we want to get to the contouring. I'm not putting on too much foundation because my skin just doesn't need it. I don't need, like, you know, 2 layers of foundation. My skin has been doing so good recently, so this is just to even out my skin tone. Highlighting and contouring is basically playing with the illusion of the light. As you can see now, I have a blank canvas. Everything is just one even tone. I don't have any definition going on. It's a blank canvas. So when you highlight and contour, you're bringing definition back into your face. When you contour, you kind of want to contour the places where you want things to kind of recede. You want things to look smaller. You want things to look slimmer. When you highlight, you bring things forward. Basically everything in the middle of the face is where you highlight. I have been using the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define in shade number C9. This concealer is a matte concealer. It's inexpensive. It's like around $9 for this. I'm just gonna use this in the middle of my face. When you blend it out, it's gonna come out, so you don't need too much product. Right here in the middle. When you highlight, you pretty much put it in the middle of your face, the places that you want to bring forward. So for me, I like to bring my chin forward, I like to bring my nose, my forehead a little bit, and I would like to highlight down here, as well as conceal, which is why I really like this concealer, because it's really like a heavy duty concealer. It like will cover everything. So now that you have the highlight, like the middle of my face, I look crazy right now. I have a round face. I like to contour in a way where it brings my face going down this way, kind of like going this way. I want to look, I guess, oval in a sense. I want my face to look longer, because to me it seems like I look slimmer when I do that. What I'm gonna do is use the Fenty Beauty Matchstick, and I'm going to, right at the hollows of my cheek, bring it down right here. That's it. You only go pretty much halfway down. You don't want to go all the way down, because then you have to blend this out and it's going to create shadows in the places that you don't necessarily need or want to have. Unless you want to have a shadow going down this way, then you can do that, or just kind of drag your contour that way as you blend it. And then you're going to bring the other side down. I also like to contour, because I have a round face, I like to contour on the sides of my face here. So I always bring it here too. Okay, so now that my freaking highlight has been sitting on my face, I'm gonna blend this in. I love this concealer. This concealer is so good. I also like to contour my chin, so I would bring this down here as well. It's because it makes me look and feel slimmer. So I have two of these kinds of brushes. What I've been using lately is this one, because it's natural hairs and I feel like it spreads it a little bit nice. But I'm going to use this one today because it's cleaner. This is the Morphe R8, and I've been using this to blend out my contour. But I'm going to show you how to use this one. I don't know. This is from the Gunmetal collection, so this is also a Morphe brush. Morphe is one of those inexpensive brush brands that I like live for. So basically, I kind of drag my contour into like my hairline. So when you blend your contour, you never want to go down, because you're not trying to bring your contour too low. I always bring it in like this. Lightly do that, but I bring my contour going in that way. And also into my hairline if I need to blend it out, because you want it to look like a shadow that is naturally on your face. As you can see, it looks like I have a shadow there. So that's a natural contour. I could literally put blush over this, a highlight, and leave. I don't need to put, you know, bronzer or anything like that if I'm trying to go for a natural look. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. When you blend, you kind of like blend it into your hairline. And then when you blend your contour, you want to blend upwards. And the reason why you want to blend upward, you don't want to drag that contour down. It just doesn't look natural when that happens. If you have a smaller chin, then you want to highlight that. If you have like me, a round face, you want to contour the sides of your face. You want to put your contour at the places where you want to recede, I guess. So for me, I want this to recede. Like, I don't want to have this right here, you know? And I want to look like I have cheekbones and stuff like that. So because I have a round face, this is how I do it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and set my face and then move on to powder. What I'm going to do to set my face, I use my trusty Airspun. Before ever moving on to powders, you have to set your face with the powder, because then your base is going to move. But you don't need to bake either. You don't need to put on a lot of powder and leave it there. No, that's just not necessary. But if you feel like it's necessary for you, then go ahead and do that. Sometimes you don't, have to do the cream contour and then powder. Sometimes you could just go straight to the powder contour. But if you want to do both, you can do what I'm doing today. You want it quick and easy to go. You don't need to do the cream. You can just go straight for the powder contour. What I want to use today is the one by Makeup Revolution. I'm going to go in and use the Morphe E3 brush. I like this brush because if you can see, it's like kind of pointy at the top and it's tapered out. The point will do what you need it to do, and then the rest kind of like blends out. If you happen to have smaller features, see, like me, I don't have small features, pretty even all the way around, as I have a round shaped face. But if you're someone with smaller features, then you would like to go for a smaller version of that same brush. This one is also a Morphe brush. This is the E48. As you can see, it's the same thing, just a lot smaller. So I'm going to use the E3, go in with the Revolution contour palette, and I'm going to go in with this shade. This is how I do it. I basically go over where I already did my natural contour. I like to use a very light hand and do circular motions because I feel like that's what blends so much easier. And then I'm also going to take it up at the top because that's where I put my cream contour as well, and just kind of take it up here. And then my favorite part of contouring is my chin. I just hold the end of the brush and just swirl it all the way. I freaking love doing this part. I don't know why, it just feels so good. I'm gonna go ahead and cut my contour because I want this to look more defined. So what I'm gonna do is kind of like go at the very bottom of my contour to kind of just cut it. Now this is like literally the only area of my face that I don't mind baking. If you don't know what baking is, it's basically leaving powder on your face for a little bit and let the warmth of your body to kind of like cook it. So if you want your stuff to look a little bit more defined, like how it's going to look in a few minutes. So while this is baking, I'm going to go ahead and add on the rest of my makeup, so I will be right back. Okay, so now that I'm done with my makeup, I just did my brows, my eyes obviously, and I dusted off the bake off my face. As you can see, that it kind of gave me more of a sharper contour. It like cleaned it up a little bit. So just to recap, highlighting, contouring is about playing with the lights around you, that it brings back definition on your face. So when you highlight, basically it brings things forward, or contouring, that would be things that you'd like to make look smaller or recede. Again, it's also not necessary to contour with cream powders and then powder. If you want to do like a quick, ready out the door kind of contour, or you just rather not work with creams, then you can just use powder. It doesn't matter. You don't need to do cream contouring before powder. It's just an extra step if you like to do it or not, if you're into it or not. It's not that necessary to do it. Also, if you do use creams before powder, set your face and then use the powders. You never want to put on any powder over something that isn't set, because it can move, budge, and also it helps your makeup last longer. I think that's it. I hope that I gave you some pretty good tips, some knowledge, maybe some basic understanding of what highlighting, contouring is. I hope that you learned something new today. If there's anything that you you have any questions on, please let me know in the comment section below. I will answer all your questions. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you haven't done already, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. And that's it for now. So I'll see you guys on the next one.